Not everything works out for me. You hear that noise? That is sleet. Can you believe that? Here it is, the first weekend April, and we're getting sleet. Okay. Well, it's about 38, 39 degrees in the greenhouse. It's close to freezing outside. And I also wanted to show you this. I've got issues on my tomato plants that I planted in here, and I don't know what that is or what's causing it, but I don't have them. I don't know if that one's even going to make it. I don't have those issues on the plants that didn't go in the fawn 2s. And I don't have that issue with the brassicas. It's just the tomatoes and just the ones that went in the fawn 2s. So I don't know if it's a chemical in the plastic, but what I think it really is that I might have not mixed the nutrient and got it a little too high. So there may be some nutrient lockout because the pH is too low or something else. So I took all the pots out and I rinsed them, and I'm hoping they'll recover and spread back out. You can see this one's spread out, and a lot of the ones are curled in a defensive mode. Anyway, that's what's going on with the tomatoes in the greenhouse on a freezing dang cold day again. This is my deck. Ice on my deck. So I'm on the Weather Channel here, and I'm looking at what's going on with the temperature today, and I have to make a decision. Right now it's near 32 degrees. I put a thermometer on the fawn 2 outside. I'm going to go take a look at that in a little bit. But right now it's showing 32 in Conway, which is where I'm near. I'm near Conway. And that's not a huge deal today during the day. See, it's at 10:30. It's about 10:45 now. But if you scroll down here and you look, it's supposed to get below freezing tonight, tomorrow morning, really early when I'm sleeping. And tomatoes cannot take a freeze. Neither can the cucurbits that I have planted out in the greenhouse. I have a lot of stuff out there, but so now I have a decision to make. Do I go out there and protect them? I mean, I put a lot of work into getting the tomatoes where they are now, and I never thought that we would dip below freezing this late. And where are we now? We're today's the 7th. Yeah, the first week, and our last frost is due around this time, but usually we never do get a frost. But to protect against the frost, I've not planted in the ground garden, but a greenhouse usually will stay a few degrees warmer than outside, even at night. So I have a decision to make, and what I've decided is that I'm going to take about half of the plants and move them into the winter greenhouse to protect them against the cold. And I'm going to pick the strongest ones of those. I just don't have the room in the small greenhouse to house everything. Plus, that's a lot of work to move them in. So I'm going to try to take a good portion, probably half, maybe a little less, just as a form of insurance against the freeze, because it would devastate me to lose everything. So I'm going to do this precautionary measure. So let's go outside and take a look and see where the temperature's at. It says, like I said up here, it says it's near freezing in the Conway area, which I'm near. So let's go take a look and see what it is outside. take a look at my thermometer there. It says it's 41 degrees in here. And yeah, anytime there's light outside, that light's going to bring some heat into the greenhouse. But that's not the time I'm worried about. I'm worried about it in the morning. So I have time today. It's before noon. I have time today to move about half of these into the small greenhouse, and that's what I'm going to do. I have to. I don't want to, but I have to. Oh well, let's get started. Another one of the issues I have is the constant flooding. I put videos up on this, and it'll actually make almost like a river through here when it rains heavily, like it did yesterday. And this has gone down quite a bit. And this is why I have to deal with in spring especially. Excuse me, late winter, early spring, I get a lot of flooding, and it just goes through here, out the door and everything. That's the primary reason why I'm moving this greenhouse. That plus looks. I want to create a better looking greenhouse and get it away from the road so it's not visible basically. Anyway, this has been a great greenhouse, and I need to continue with moving these plants inside the small greenhouse. The brassicas in the middle, I'm not even worried a little bit. In fact, I think they like it. They can freeze, get below freezing, and not affect them at all. It takes in the teens before it really kind of damages them, so I'm not worried about them. These are my butternuts in their cute curbit, and I am worried about them. If there's room, I'm going to take a bunch of these in there as well. Now we've got her cleaned out. I left a few. Those are my butternuts. I have 50, so I left some scrawnier ones as sacrificial tests for tonight. And last time I checked the broadcast, the weather forecast rather, it's supposed to get even lower. I had 29 on there. I'd like to take in some of the other stuff over there, but I got a couple seed squash down there. Doesn't matter if they die off. Potatoes can usually take a little bit of cold, so I'm leaving them. And then a couple, the winter greenhouse tomatoes I brought out. I don't really care if they die. Now let me show you what it looks like inside the heated greenhouse. Y'all, I could not leave my babies out there to possibly get killed off. Not after all this work, so I've been busy today. I've been busy.